Hi everyone, thanks for joining. This is going to be a demonstration of Prophesy Dispatch with the integration to Samsara. The primary focus will be the integration. The dispatch side will keep kind of high level. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build a new load. Book new, top left-hand corner. The level of detail a customer would put in here will be up to the customer. There's very minimal that's required. So I'll go ahead and I'll put a decent amount of detail so I can show it to you on the Samsara side as well. I just pulled my customer in, my pickup information. It's all coming in from the database. Where am I going to? So I've got a pickup in Bloomfield, Connecticut, delivered to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to go ahead and put some dates and times in here. You can type like I'm doing right now, or you can actually click a date field anywhere in the system and just go ahead and click like I'm doing right there. Jumping down into the middle section, I'm going to put the commodity or the goods of what I'm hauling. This is one of those fields that the customer does not have to fill in. Depends on what they want to track. And I'm going to put some charges down the bottom, and these will be auto-calculated based on my setup. I'm going to save the load, top left-hand corner. I'm just going to assign a load number. I'm actually going to add a little bit more detail for the sake of the demonstration. Once again, that'll be up to the user. I'm going to put a PO number in here. Put a number in here. I'm going to put some special instructions. This field here. Again, that's a good amount of detail that not everyone's going to do, but I want to do it for the sake of the demonstration. So I created a load. Before I actually assign the driver to the load and send it over to the device, I just want to show you one more screen, or dispatch board, if you will, just to give you a little bit of a taste for Prophesy Dispatch. It's called our load scheduler. It's one of our dispatch boards, and again, keeping this high level on this end, but here's all my available loads, or my pending loads. You see all your drivers in the middle and all their scheduled activity. In this case, it's set up for a week, but you can see in the top left-hand corner, you can pick any time frame you want. So just a few things that are happening here on this screen, or on any of our assignment screens. In this case with driver Adams, he has a red X under the letter L. That's a warning that his license expired. So the red X's are warnings that something is overdue. And we're also going to warn on physicals, insurance for any owner-operators that carry their own, maintenance items, and hours of service, which I'm going to talk more about here in a minute. Down here you see yellow X. This is one of the warnings that we give you ahead of time on any of those items. So something's coming due. And what you're seeing on this existing schedule, driver Bass has a load in green, which in my system means he's picked up and he's in or out, in this case to Dallas. Then I've already got him assigned on his next load to pick up in Dallas to go to Houston. So this is a scheduling tool. Again, I won't get too much into this. So it's a lot of drag and drop functionality to make it work. I mentioned hours of service. So what I'm going to do is click on a load over here on the left. This one from Columbus to Hartford. As soon as I click on it, the hours of service column you see updated. So all these yellow X's you're seeing, now this is fed in directly from Samsara. All these yellow X's are telling me the driver should not do that load. This load from Columbus to Hartford with those pickup and delivery times, these yellow ones should not do it. And it tells you why right in the first line. If I do the little flyover there, it tells you why they should not do it. Now the settings in the system can be controlled by our customer, our mutual customer. They can have these yellow X's come up the way you see them here, still allowing the the dispatcher to make the assignment, or they can have these come up as red X's, which would not allow the dispatcher to make the assignment. These ones in green are good. These guys are okay to do that load. So it comes up instantaneous, and then dispatchers can see this information right away. You can also take any one of these drivers and get a summary of their hours right here within Prophesy. Again, in this case, being fed in from Samsara, but you see the summary on the right, the last status, last driving date, how much time they have left, last reset. So everything you might want to see on a portal, you can just see right from here. All right, the load we just built which is right here, Bloomfield to Milwaukee. I'm going to go ahead and assign it from this screen, and I'm going to be sure to assign it to my driver that has a device. I'm just going to click, drag, and drop over the driver's name. Confirm what I'm trying to do there. It's going to go ahead and fill in a schedule. And the load is on its way to the Samsara device. And you can see it's a different color here, which is my assigned color, and it's filled in a schedule. Now, as we're waiting for that to go out, I'm going to show you another integration point. Top right-hand corner, we have a freeform messaging window that pops up. So you can send freeform messages to your drivers, or maybe a message that's not related to the load, call home, something like that, which I'm going to do.
Jay, where are the inbound messages as well? Could you show that?
Yep, it's actually, I'm going to send this out, and then when I get to the device, I'm going to send it back.
Great, thanks.
On the way back in. And you can see here it keeps a thread as well. So I'm just going to close this for now. So we sent the message out. Now I am going to go to my dispatch board here just to show you. Again, it's a different view, but there's the load we're working with, and it says it was received by the device. So let's go over to the device. I'm sure this all looks familiar. Actually, first things first, top right-hand corner, you see that little envelope with the 1. I got that message already. So I'm going to just go ahead and respond. See, it says, please call the office. Send it back, which when we get back over there, we'll show you that. All right, so now the loads, or the dispatch information, come in under the routes section. There's the load we just did, 13298. I'm going to dig into the load a little bit. You can click on either the bold black print there or tap to view route, either one. And it's basically telling me my stops are Prophesy Trucking, delivering to Milwaukee. Depending on the level of detail the customer uses, they might see a little bit different items here, and that's somewhat configurable as well. You can navigate, if you look in the bottom, to the first location in this case, which basically will open up the default mapping system on the device. But I'm gonna dig into it here. So you have the information on top of the location. You can open these up as you see me doing. You see more, see less, contact information. And then there's a few tasks on the bottom, which I'm going to get into right now. So I'm going to go to the shipment data tasks. And there's, again, different information. Some of this may not be filled in for some customers. But the pro code, which matches to the load number in our system, you can see the special instructions. I put those in there on purpose so we could see them on the device. The different numbers I put in there. And the ones that say updatable allow the driver to send information back. So let's go ahead and do that with the bill of lading. Save that. And that's good. So I'm going to hit submit document. And it's going to go ahead and start uploading that. In the meantime, we'll go to the goods data. Some people may modify, some may not. Some may use it, some may not. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, a lot of these are updatable. Let's change some of these. Next, I'm going to change them all just so you can see the difference. We'll do the next. Save. All right. Again, it's up to the user what they want to fill in. Now, another thing I need to do for demonstration purposes, I need to manually complete my pickup on the bottom there. However, the geofencing on Samsara will take care of this. So in the real world, you will not have to do this manual way that I'm doing it right now. All right. So that's going to be on its way back to Prophesy. Now, it might take a second, so let's switch windows here. I'm going to force a few connections to happen to make this manually go quicker for demonstration purposes. But in the real world, this happens automatically. And you can also see while we're waiting, top right-hand corner, red flashing, so one new message. I open that, it'll bring me to that freeform messaging window, and then there's this message. But you can also see it in the context of the thread right there. So it comes back in. You can see the different colors. One's going out, one's coming in. Okay. You could also, from this particular window, there's a button there that says current location. So I'll go ahead and plot this current location on a map. You can make that larger if you want. All right, so I'm going to force one more connection here to make everything update appropriately. There on my in route board is load one number 13928, and if I go into the actual times, I'll do it. Actually, let me show you in the check call screen. You can see the times actuals right there. These came from the device. Again, in the real world, those will come from the geofencing. I'm going to go into the load to show you some of the information that I modified. So I added that bill of lading number, and I modified all these numbers right here in the middle. Another integration point before we go back to the app is we are also pulling in GPS readings. That's on a timer as well at any frequency. We're updating this information right here with the GPS information. So last check-in, last city, last state continually happens through GPS points, and then we also auto-calculate an ETA. And then the ETA can be compared to the scheduled delivery time and create alerts for the users. So if this ETA goes past the scheduled delivery time, there's an alert that can come up that'll warn the user something might be late. All right, let's go back to the app. All right, just got to the delivery. It's all the same kind of layout. Obviously some different information because it's a different location. I'm not really going to update anything here, but I need to submit it. Same with the goods, unless there was something I needed to update. One thing I am going to do here is I'm going to add some images, or an image, to get uploaded into Prophesy. You don't actually have to put a load number in there because it's going to assume the load number that you're on. You do want to put a document type that'll tie into the Prophesy side. I'm going to take a picture. Well, obviously this is happening right now. All right, looks okay. Save that, submit that. So now it's on its way back up to Prophesy. I'm also going to go ahead and manually complete the stop. Once again, in the real world, geofencing could take care of this. All right, so now we go back to the Prophesy side. And I'm going to force a connection here just to get this to update quicker. Sometimes it takes a second. All right, so if I refresh my screen, it drops off to the completed board. Right there, there's the actuals on the bottom there. Also, if I open up the imaging window, just type in that pro code, 3928. There's the image I just scanned in. It's attached to that load number to that customer, and I see here in the top, came in via Samsara, and there's time and date that it came in. So this is very helpful in the billing process in our system, because now the person doing billing would go into the billing screen. At this point, all the documentation would be in there, and there's a flag that tells them that as well, if the appropriate documents that are required by a particular customer are in there or not. So it really streamlines that and makes the billing get turned around super quickly. A couple more integration points. We have an optional trailer tracking integration. And what that will do, let me pull up my trailers here. Basically, we're pulling in GPS rating locations and updating our system. So you'll see information like this gets updated, location, city, state, how long it's been there, and when it was last updated, and then we'll calculate how long it's been there for as long as it's been there. So the GPS readings from the trailer tracking get pushed up into Prophesy, updating the location file for our trailer, which then in turn updates this view, and also will update a load. If the trailer is attached to a load, it'll log in a check call, mobile check call to that load based on where the trailer was GPS reading was. So that's an optional piece to this integration. And just one more thing to comment on is we also import our miles from Samsara into our fuel tax module for processing. From the customer's point of view, we also import fuel, not through Samsara, but independently. So both of those items getting imported into our fuel tax module makes processing their IFTA much more efficient.